Morning everybody, welcome to Rob Makes Stuff. Thanks for tuning in, do appreciate it. What stuff's Rob making this week? Well, for my first video I thought I'd show you this Boeing 737 forward overhead which I'm building for a flight simulator. You can pay a lot of money for overheads, they are very nice, but for those of you on a bit of a budget, this is how I've gone about it. We'll take a closer look. So, on the web I found a PDF of all the Boeing instrument panel really, main instrument panel, overhead, aft overhead and the pedestal. It was there for public consumption, you were allowed to download it as long as you didn't kind of sell it. So that's what I did and took it to my local printers and they put it onto some self-adhesive vinyl for me in 1:1 scale. So I've stuck that to some perspex, drilled some holes in it and then went out and bought some switches which I've started to fit to the overhead. It's not too bad actually, it does look pretty good. For those of you familiar with Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm using the default 737. I know it's not got all the bells and whistles, but the software that I use for the cockpit build itself uses that model of aircraft. So some things are functional and some things aren't. So as you can see, I don't think it looks too bad, and it might work for you. So if I can post a link to the actual PDF, I will do, and you can have a look for yourself. Right, I'll turn it over. Now, if Mikey from Mikey's Flight Deck is watching, I hope he's sitting down because, yeah, this is kind of rough work. But that's because I like to use whatever I've got left in the shed, really. So the wood that I've used is a little bit shonky, but it does the job. So these bits on the side, they're just to hold. I've got like a roof panel, which we'll show in another video. You can see it all kind of clicks together. So that's what these kind of tatty bits of wood are tucked on the edges. There's switches on the back. So some things are wired up. I think that's the pitot heat and window heat possibly. And then down here you've got some of the pack panels and the light bar along the bottom. And they're all functional on the sim, so I've wired them up. And they just go across to a Leo Bodner card, interface card for all the buttons, switches, and through FSUIPC you can tell Flight Sim what you want those switches to do. Okay, the bolts, because I'm a bit of a cheapskate and I didn't want to buy switches for everything. So for these guard switches, I've just kind of bolted them in for now. If I get some more switches I might put them in. The battery switch, which is functional on the sim, you can kind of obviously turn the whole aircraft off. That's got a switch in it, but the rest of them I've just bolted on for now, just because they look nice. Alright. Okay, these little knobs here, ooh, where am I? I got these from a company called Cockpit Sim Parts. They're from in the UK. I think they're based in Cardiff. They're not too bad, they're 3D printed. They need a bit of cleaning up, which I haven't got around to, just to get the rough bits off them. And I had to drill them out a little bit bigger to get them to go over my particular switches. But they actually don't fall off under gravity, which is good. I'll probably glue them on eventually. There's still a few holes in it. I've got the rest of the knobs to fit, and we'll talk about knobs in another video, which I'm sure you'll look forward to. So there's a couple of knobs for you, and we'll talk about kind of where we get them from, paint them, how we mark them up, or how I mark them up. Okay, anyway, that's a little introduction for you. Hopefully you found that useful. Yeah, please keep in touch and keep watching. Thanks everybody.